Hey guys, I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. I really appreciate all the support that you guys have been sending my way, all through comments and subscriptions and all the amazing emails I've been getting. Thank you so much. In this video, I wanted to speak to you guys about how INFJs have this thing about not sharing their favorite people with anyone else. And that's one of the reasons why we have a really hard time getting into relationships or being comfortable with being in relationships with people that we really care about, people that we really love, because it means that we have to start showing that vulnerable side of ourselves, right? And as soon as we care about someone or we are in love with someone and we want to be around them all the time, we want to spend time with them, it puts us in some sort of imbalance. We're not taking care of ourselves anymore because we are more focused on taking care of that other person. We forget about our own meals because we're so focused on taking care of that other person's meals. We forget about the fact that we need to sleep and we need to take care of our hygiene because we're so focused on making sure that the person that we love is happy, well taken care of, well fed, and sleeping well. So all of the effort, all of that energy that normally we would spend upon ourselves, our bodies, our minds, our spirit, all of that energy is kind of now dissipated and sent outwards towards that other person, the person that we love, the person that we care about. We're constantly thinking about that person. We're constantly trying to ensure that we are able to make them happy. And we're constantly worried about the fact that they're not happy and it's all because of us, right? The reason why we don't like sharing our favorite people with other people is because we want that person's attention completely and utterly on us. As I said, one of the reasons why we don't want to get into a relationship is because this crazy side of ours comes out when we're in a relationship. Normally, we're very cold and aloof, and I've said this in the previous video, we come across robotic almost. But when we get into a relationship with someone that we love, it's as if we've taken a complete 180 turnaround. We're completely different. And sometimes, well, actually always, my partners or, my exes would always say, I thought you were a different person. And that in itself causes me to feel anxiety because I think, oh no, I've showed my true self to you. I've showed you the way I am, which is my more clingy, possessive, needy side. And all of a sudden I feel that has turned you off against me, that makes you feel uncomfortable around me and makes you not want to be around me anymore, or perhaps dulls the love that you have for me a little bit. And that means that eventually you're going to fall out of love with me and you're going to leave me. And so instantaneously, if we pull back, as INFJs, we pull back and we try to pretend to be cold and aloof again. Of course, that doesn't work at all, because as soon as someone else comes into our life, someone else comes into their life, into our favorite person's life, we constantly or instantly we think to ourselves, oh my God, that person's going to take them away, or they're going to steal them, or my favorite person's not going to spend as much time with me as I want, or I won't be able to be as clingy or possessive with them as I want. I won't be able to observe them all the time and make sure that they're happy. It's going to throw everything into more of an imbalance than it already is in, and so we feel really anxious and worried about it. That's one of the reasons why, as you might notice, if you are an INFJ or if you're in a relationship with an INFJ, they get really anxious when anyone else comes into your life and takes up a lot of your time. We like to know or have the certainty that we are the most important person in your life if we are doing the same thing for you. Because as soon as we get into a relationship with a person, our favorite person, we're in love with them, we're in a relationship with them, finally we've decided, okay, we're going to do it. After so much strife and so much overthinking and analysis, we finally decided I'm going to be in a relationship with someone. And it takes us a lot to get into a relationship with someone. So we finally decide we're going to be in a relationship with this person, and we spend all of our effort, all of our time, all our energy, all our spirit on this individual. Everything, every molecule in our body is geared to making sure that this person is happy and well fed and is getting everything that they need from us, right? And so because that person is a top priority to us, more so than any other person on this planet, they're going to be the person that we spend the most time with, the most energy on, and the most spirit on. Those are the people that we really care about. That one person is our priority. But most other people, and most people on this planet, don't think of that. Don't think of their partner as maybe their top priority. Perhaps a little bit so, but not in the magnified way that we think of them as top priority, right? All of our thinking time and all of our sleeping time is geared towards making this person happy, thinking about how we can make them more happy, how we can take care of them better, what kind of foods do they like, what kind of foods can we cook for them, what kind of gifts can we buy for them, what kind of trips can we go together, constantly overthinking, overanalyzing, making sure that all of our thinking time, all of our lifetime is spent on making sure that this person is extremely happy. Not only extremely happy in general, but extremely happy with us. We are the ones that should be the priority in their life as well, as much as possible. Not as much as we would do, obviously, and we know that we go a little bit overboard, a lot overboard, but we want to be a top priority in their life as well, as much as possible. Unfortunately, most people don't think of it as that way, right? We might be a top priority in their life, but if something happens, if a friend comes in, or if a parent comes in, or a family member, or someone who's been in their life longer, they will give more priority to that person automatically. And that's a little bit understandable. I mean, if their mother comes in and they're a big mama's boy, or I shouldn't use that term, that's negative. If they really love their mother and they're really close to her, then they're going to spend a lot of time with them, right? And it's understandable. It should be understandable. But instantaneously, that fear, that anxiety that is in us as an INFJ, as a human being, kind of rears its head up and thinks to itself, this person's going to take your top priority away, or it's going to take your favorite person away, or they're not going to love you anymore, or they're going to look at you differently, or they're going to leave you. There's so many different horrible thoughts that come up in our head, and instantaneously, obviously, our instinct is to grab on tighter. We want to hold on to them a little bit tighter. We don't want to let them go. We want to be with them all the time. We want them to be with us all the time. We don't want them to leave. We want them to be as close to us and as prioritized. We want to be as prioritized as we prioritize them. Again, what happens, at least in my case, in all my exes in the relationships, is that they never end up giving me the utmost priority that I give them. It always results in a lot of resentment and anxiety on my end. I think to myself, obviously they don't care as much as I do. They're not giving me as much priority as I'm giving them, as much thought as I'm giving them. They don't care as much as I care about them. Perhaps this is not the relationship for me. Now, of course, I'm telling you all this because this is false thinking. No one, not only you, but no one else should be giving someone else in their life, as much priority as we do in a relationship. We should really be tamping it down and focusing more on ourselves. Putting all that effort into someone else is not really a great thing, because what we're expecting is for them to reciprocate it. And when they don't, then we become resentful and we start hating them, or we start becoming cold or aloof, or kind of disintegrating the relationship. That's not what you want. You want to ensure as much as possible. And this is just also a work in practice for me, because I am not perfect at it yet. I think it's something that I'm working on. But even in a relationship with someone that's a major priority for you, and you love them to death, and you want to spend all your time with them, you still need to make sure that 50 to 60% of your time, or more if possible, is spent upon yourself. What happens for an INFJ is probably 90% of our time is spent on that other person. Barely 5 to 10% of our time and energy and effort is spent on ourselves. And that creates a big skew, because not only are we not taking care of ourselves, we're not eating well, we're not sleeping well, but then that person's not going to give you 90% of their time, effort, and energy. It's just not going to happen. That's not how the world works. People are not like that anymore. People have things to do. They have jobs, they have relationships, other relationships, they have friends, family, they have hobbies. They're not going to spend that much time on you. And so that's going to create an imbalance between the two of you. And again, resentment, anxiety, etc. And so all of the time, no matter which relationship you're in, no matter who it is, no matter how much you love them, as an INFJ, it is your priority to make sure that you are as much a priority as that other person, or more so. Spend 60 to 70% of the time on yourself, taking care of yourself, making sure that your hobbies are still going on, making sure that your spiritual needs are still met, making sure that your hygiene needs and your physical needs are still met, so you're eating and drinking and sleeping well, drinking water I mean, and all of that stuff, making sure that you are still a top priority for yourself. And that's not only when you're not in a relationship, but also obviously when you're in a relationship with someone that you love. They shouldn't occupy your time and energy and effort as much as they usually do, right? I hope this makes sense. I really wanted to do this video because I noticed that a lot with, obviously I've noticed that a lot with my relationships in the past. All of my exes had the same complaint about me. And I realized very early on that that was one of the things that I was doing wrong, if I could say so. If I was not prioritizing myself enough, and I was becoming resentful of the other person through no fault of their own, right? They didn't do anything wrong. It was me who was doing something wrong. And so I want to share this with you guys, so perhaps, hopefully, in a relationship right now or in a future relationship, you can use this and kind of try to bring yourself back into balance as much as possible, right? Again, if you guys have any questions about this video or about any other video topics that I've done, please let me know by commenting below, or you can email me. All my contact information is in the description below. And I shall see you guys the next time around. Bye for now.